What's up, YouTube? Mike here from TechnoGI, and today I wanted to do my thoughts and I guess a review and a quick demo of Windows 10. Pretty much I've had it now since the 29th, so I've had it for about 4 days now, or 3 or 4 days now, and honestly I'm pretty much loving it. So let me zoom in and I'll give you guys my thoughts and a quick demo. Okay, so if you have not seen it yet, this is Windows 10. This is what it looks like. It looks very similar to Windows 7 at first glance, because really Apple, or not Apple, excuse me, Microsoft, they know a majority of people kind of prefer the desktop. So is what they did is they went back to the roots and went to the desktop, which is essentially Windows 7. But of course you'll notice along the bottom you've got a lot more icons. Starting with, of course, they brought the start button back. And the cool thing about this is, if you were a fan of Windows 8 like myself, I really actually like the Metro view because I like the live tiles. And of course, if you were a fan of Windows 7, you get the best of both worlds. So you essentially get your cake and you get to eat it too. So on the left, of course, you got what looks more traditional, kind of like Windows 7. And of course here, I've got all my live tiles that I had in Windows 8. And you can do the same thing. You can set up folders, like you said, I named them, and you can move everything around. It's super simple. You can use touch or mouse. For demonstration purposes, I'm using a mouse just so you can kind of see. But you can move these around anywhere you want. You can rename them. You can uninstall them from here. You can delete them. I mean, pretty much anything you want, which is pretty cool. So you got this, and then of course, I've got my most used, and you got your File Explorer, which this is kind of the traditional looking, which you were familiar with Windows 7. But that's the big change. Like I said, they brought back the start button, and you can have your Windows 8.1. But the cool thing is, say you have a 2-in-1 device, like this is a Surface 3, and you want the tablet mode. Two things: either if you disconnect the keyboard, or if you've got like a Yoga and you flip it back, it'll go into tablet mode and it'll ask you. So let me disconnect the keyboard. Of course, you can't see that. So yeah, right here it pops up. It says, do you want to switch to tablet mode? And you can set this, yes or no, or always ask me, and I'll go ahead and hit yes. And so bam, here's your Metro view that you're used to. Except the only thing I don't like is I wish it would scroll horizontally like it did with Windows 8.1 instead of just vertically, because I kind of like the Metro where I just keep sliding it to the left. But in this case, now they made it where you got to slide it down. So, of course, if you put your keyboard back on, it goes back, it'll ask you to go back to that, and I'll say yes, I want to exit tablet mode. And if there's another way you can get to this as well, I'll show you real quick. This is the new Action Center. And if you click on this, it gives you all your notifications, and then down here you've got kind of these chiclets, which is the most stuff that you're used to using. So right here, if I click this, it'll bring me in and out of tablet mode. So bam, brings me in it and brings me out. So that's the second way you can do it. And of course, from this, we'll talk about the Action Center. Like I said, this is also a notification center. So I'll get all my notifications if I get emails, yada yada. Gives you rotation lock, settings. I mean, basically the most used items. So we'll crank this up. And one thing, if you're used to Windows 8.1 and you liked it, used to when you swiped in from the right, you'll get your Charms bar. Now if you swipe in, you get your Action Center. And all the stuff that's in the Charms bar is kind of within this Action Center. So for instance, notifications, display, devices, I mean it's all right here. Update, so if you want to do updates, I mean you name it, it's all right here essentially. So it's good and it's bad. I kind of preferred the Charms for the one where if I wanted to connect another monitor or something, or devices, I mean it's right here, but you got to do an extra click, whereas with the old Charm you just swipe in and it's right there. With this you got to open the Action Center and bam, then you got to find it. So moving on, of course you notice this down here, Cortana, and it works really well. I like it. It's kind of like a Google Now-esque. So if you click on this, I can talk to her, which she's going to be trying to pick it up. I didn't want to talk to her. Anyway, let me click on this. There we go. So from here, it gives you kind of your Google Now thing. It gives you these cards, essentially like Google Now. But and you can go in here to your notebook, and essentially you can customize it for you, because it'll ask you kind of the stuff you want, eat and drink events, and you can move all this stuff around. So the priority that you want it to show your cards, settings about you, and this is how you can make it really a personal assistant. But it works well. And right now I've got hey Cortana, what time is it?
Right now it's 7:41 p.m. in the United States Air Force Academy.
Yeah, so that's something you can enable, where you can you just say the magic words and you can ask it anything you want, tell it to set you a reminder and all that. Next, like I said, this is a quick demo. Here's Task View. Now let me open some apps. So I've got Windows Edge, which I'll get into. We'll open the store. And so if you got more than one app open, bam, you open this and it's got all the apps you have open. It's just a quick way to switch back and forth between them. And another thing that this is really good at is snapping your apps. And we'll also do this. So you can have multiple apps open. You can actually have 4, so you can do a quad. But obviously, smaller screen, it's a little inconvenient, but you can do it. But it's really a multitasking beast as far as Windows 10, and it's good at this. It allows you to snap. So when you open apps now, it no longer opens them in full screen. It opens them in these windows. So it gives you the option if you want to snap it or not. So pretty cool. And while I got this open, we'll move on along. Windows Store, of course, it's changed. Now they got everything in one store. So you've got your apps, games, music, TV. It's all in one place, so you don't have to go to multiple places. So that's pretty cool. So they redid the Windows Store, and it actually looks pretty darn good. And next, like I said, this is Microsoft Edge, no longer Internet Explorer. It works well, and of course it's got a lot of new features, where most importantly is if you click on this guy here, maybe, let me open a web page. Reading list. I guess I gotta open a page. Let's see. There we go. So now when you open a web page, it gives you the option. You can draw, highlight, you can use your finger, you can use a mouse. There we go. You know, highlight, sky's the limit. You can add notes, you can clip. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with this. And the cool thing is when you're done, you can export this. So I can share it with any of these, Mail, OneNote, and it'll essentially send whoever you send it to a JPEG of it. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, the options are endless. We'll exit that because I don't want to do that. Another cool thing is with this is you've got reading mode, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. So any website you go to, you click on this, and it takes out all the crap, all the garbage, all the ads and all that, so you can just straight up read. So pretty cool feature, but there's just a million new features in Windows 10. And I'm trying to make this short. I mean, just giving you a quick demo of the highlights. I mean, those are the big high points, is obviously Cortana, the new start button, and Windows or Microsoft Edge. But so far, I got to say, I'm loving this. I mean, I haven't found anything I really don't like. There is a tiny bit of a learning curve, but if you're familiar with Windows 8.1 and Windows 7, basically Microsoft took those 2 operating systems, they put them in a jar and they shook it up, and this is what you get. So it's very intuitive, and it really, you play with it for about 30 minutes and you get the hang of it. But totally digging it, totally liking it. I highly recommend it if you've not downloaded this yet. I don't know what's stopping you. I mean, this is awesome. It's super fast. Like I said, I'm running the Surface 3, and I swear that it feels like my device is actually faster when I'm running Windows 10. And like I said, all the benchmark tests say that Microsoft Edge is actually 112% faster than Google Chrome, so it uses less of your computer's memory and all that too. It's not as an intensive app. So like I said, this is just a quick look, quick demonstration of Windows 10. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'll be doing more videos of this, so as always, give me a like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks.